Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everybody, episode 306 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who is apparently traveling back to 2016?
This is Joe Butler, and I might have time powers, but so do you.
This is Nate McLellan. Time Knife is the best movie I've seen all year.
I am Phoebe Stanton. And wait, Time Powers? Hawkeyes? Colby? Is this a JoJo episode?
Hi, I'm Michael Colby, and I had a dream that I was a cat with bear claws.
And I'm Alan Petrozzi, and this is Quantum Mania!
That's good.
And we are here to talk about a game that I have never played somehow. Quantum Break, developed by Remedy Entertainment, published by Microsoft Studios, and came out in 2016. And it's a game about time travel where 2016 the world was going to end. Weird. You got this episode became very relevant all of a sudden this year, huh?
If only the world would have ended in 2016. Holy moly.
So I always like to start these with our memories of this game. So I had bought this for $10 in a bin of Walmart clearance for Xbox One, which doesn't work anymore, and never played it until this past week. That's my history. Alan.
I bought it, I think on sale. I think initially I did not care too much about it, but then I got late into enjoying Control and then got Quantum Break after that.
Joe.
So I remember, I've probably talked about it before, but I was like a decent Xbox person. Thankfully, due to the big pandemic, both me and my partner were able to afford PCs. So when this came out, I went, why the fuck do I need to play an Xbox anymore? And got rid of Game Pass and never played it. So
Smart.
That's pretty much it for me.
Nate.
I saw this game at Walmart, and I went, I don't own an Xbox.
Okay. Was this your first time playing it?
Yeah, this is my first time playing it.
And Colby.
I was a notorious Alan Wake not liker at first. So I did skip this when it came out because I was like, oh, it's by the Alan Wake people. And then I played Control and loved it more than almost any game I've ever played. And then started getting into the other Remedy games. And then I was like, well, I guess this is the next, this was the only one that I hadn't played. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to play this one, and ended up enjoying it way more than I thought. So I guess, yeah, same. Just played it pretty recently, just not too long after after Control.
And Phoebe.
Despite owning an Xbox One since around the time it came out, and despite being an avid Alan Wake lover, I bought this game in 2017 on the day that I moved.
Oh. Okay. I thought you moved sooner than that.
No, it was 2017.
Damn.
I have questions that I don't want to ask on air. Okay.
You text me them. This will be fun.
I will. All right. So for those that don't know, Quantum Break is a third-person shooter TV game. TV, because there's a TV episode which we'll definitely get into. It's very different. This was supposed to be one of those games or one of these games and IP that Microsoft was going to go into the future with. And yeah, that worked out great.
Yeah, I believe this was one of the first games that Microsoft was like, we bought the guys who made Alan Wake again. And they're like, I think this was one of the first games where they're like, Game Pass, where if you have Game Pass, you can play brand new games for free. And this was one of the first ones that they were doing it with.
Oh, okay. I'm sure that didn't help the sales.
Yeah, they use that for everything. I mean, what is it, 5 fucking years later? Or even more than that. That's what they're doing now is we put the game on Game Pass and it didn't make us any money. It's yeah, because Game Pass, you get free games. That's what happens. Yeah, but we're not making money off of it, though.
You see, everybody saw Netflix and saw the large amounts of cash they were making, which I don't think are real, and went, we're going to do that. And not realizing, that's not how this works.
How many shows they cancel? Yeah, it's not real. I don't know how Netflix has money.
It's not real. It's just stock money that you say is worth X amount, but you can't sell it or you can't do anything with it because the money's gone. It's not real.
Well, it also was before, Netflix, I'm sure, did great before everybody had their own streaming service and everybody decided that Netflix is maybe too much. Like, maybe there's too much there. I know that was my Game Pass problem, was that I was like, I couldn't figure out anything to play because there was too much to play. So now people, figure out what they like. Like, the only one that I pay for is Shudder. So it's like, I want to watch horror movies, so I'm going to pay for Shudder, and then I'm not going to pay for any of the other ones. So it's spread out too thin, I think, now.
I feel like most of the time everyone finds one subscription service to subscribe to, and then the rest are what they mooch off of their friends and family.
Yeah, for sure.
And then somebody takes your Shudder account is like, that's the one that they'll mooch, right?
Yep.
That's like that's how you operate now.
I am the Moochie. I pay $30 for Disney Hulu combo, Disney Hulu Max combo. I also pay for Crunchy, and I also pay for Shudder.
Wow.
I have Netflix, Paramount, Max, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, but that's also for shipping.
I am dual income, no kids. I'm allowed to have Netflix.
I was gonna say, I'm paying for I think Max only or something else. I want to get Shudder and maybe drop out.
But my parents leech off my account, but I don't leech off theirs.
So Crunchyroll and YouTube Premium and some Prime Video.
So Quantum Break, guys. Hey.
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
hey, that was impressive. You were right, Colby. Less than 4 minutes, we were off track. Just not on the off track that you thought we were going to be.
Hold on, I want to shout out YouTube Premium. Did a free trial. Haven't looked back since. It's
basically
great.
Same.
I pay for that too.
But I do want to talk about the fact that Remedy as a company is is one of the most unfortunate yet fortunate companies I've ever seen operating in the games industry. Ever since they sold the rights to Max Payne to Rockstar, their games are awesome, but their business is kind of scraping by, right? In the news, Alan Wake 2 said that they just now recouped most of its marketing and budget, right?
They've been saying that for months, though.
Yeah.
I think that's just a video game thing. We're we just made even,
unless you're GTA or Call of Duty, yeah.
You spend too much.
I think it's also their strength is that they don't make generic-y games like Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto. They make things that are weird and things that they know aren't going to sell huge gangbusters like those other titles do. Right. They make the thing that they want to make, and they know that the people who like that thing are going to buy it. And I think that's a strength, but also makes
the weakness is that they barely get them funded. They barely find the publisher to take it.
Look, it makes them financially dubious.
They're just they're teetering on the edge of greatness, and I'm so curious what they do with this whole Remedyverse thing. But
they make a multiplayer game called Firebreak, and they make Control 2.
Hell yeah. And then they buy the rights to Quantum Break back so that they can fold all of this stuff in.
But would Microsoft even let them? Microsoft seems like it's a company that we have this thing that we don't want, but you can't have it either.
They'll make another company make Quantum Break 2, and then they'll dissolve that company.
We're not getting a Quantum Break 2, and I have a very strong reasoning as to why that is, but I will not be talking about that around certain people.
Time killer?
Like me?
Yes.
Okay. Spoilers, I take it for Alan Wake 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I beat, but not the DLC, so we'll leave it at okay.
Anyways.
So Quantum Break does have, this game, you can tell it was supposed to be part of the Remedyverse, to a sequel to Alan Wake, or not a sequel, but part of that same universe, but because now that they own Alan Wake and they own Control, but they don't own this isn't part of the Remedyverse, but it is and it isn't. It is with the serial numbers filed off.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Period.
You can find graffiti that has AWE written on walls.
Level 1 in the university itself has literally the crazy board.
Well, yeah, but so the crazy board and the TV both confirm that Alan Wake, at the very least, is a physical product in that universe. The Quantum Break universe could be our universe, where Alan Wake is a video game, but Control is 100% canon to Quantum Break.
Yeah, and there is, there's an Alan Wake book on one of somebody's desks in one of the offices. Alan Wake, the author, exists in Quantum Break, and they're also playing the Alan Wake video game in Quantum Break.
And Sam Lake is Alex Casey in this too somewhere.
Yes.
What the fuck?
I didn't see it because I didn't. So I beat this game in a day.
Wow.
So multiple reasons. Some not good. Some I couldn't. I stayed up late than I should have. My wife's like, "Are you coming to bed?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just gotta finish Quantum Break. I'm tired." But I was just like, I'm in Act 5. Like, this game's gotta be almost over. It wasn't, but I stayed up, finished it. I just had a good time. I mean, part of it was I wanted to get it done for the schedule so I could move on to the next game because I have a monster of a game for next week. But the other part, I just was having so much fun. This is a Mike game through and through.
Really?
I like third-person shooters a lot. That's one of my favorite genres. I like when I can manipulate time. I like timey-wimey stories. Even if they make no sense, I like timey-wimey.
Does that mean it's also a Mike TV show?
Yeah, I didn't mind the TV show was fun. Like, I was watching a review and it's like, oh, you can tell this is, badly shot and badly acted. I'm like, this is fine. Like, this is as good as like a CW show. I'm like, CW had some good shows. Flash is amazing until you get to like the last couple seasons. But hey, it was amazing till then.
The acting isn't bad, but it is shot poorly. It is shot with a dude holding a camcorder. It is shaky cam out the ass. And then when they we're not going to talk about it just yet, but when they get to the, whatever they call it, the arc thing, and it's a prison cell, basically.
Okay, that was a little stupid, but I was expecting something more supernatural. But like overall, like this game is a very unique experience that you don't get.
So the main thing that I hate, which is proof that you have to get in the meta. I know everyone here at least enjoys the meta, mainly because we're all fans of the Remedy games as well. Is that the whole joke is of the story of that too, and even everything in Quantum Break is that it's legitimately a sci-fi action parody. No shit, the camera's shaking and it looks funny. It's supposed to be a joke on 24. Like, that show was fucking shot poorly in my opinion, but everyone fucking loved that show.
I never watched it, nor will.
No, make no mistake about it. I am not talking shit on the show. I also enjoyed the show, but it is shot poorly.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like he was complaining a lot about it. Like, he's like, you can tell. I'm like, this is fine. Like, they are doing something unique where it's kind of following what Metal Gear did, but instead of having just just made cutscenes, pre-rendered cutscenes, you're having live action, and I loved it.
Listen, we of course everything looks like it's shot on a fucking camcorder. We fucking paid as much as he's in this. The guy that I don't know what his name is, but the actor that plays Jack Joyce is like in a lot of big name movies.
Sean Astin.
Sean Ashmore. Sean Ashmore is a pretty big penny, and it's like, oh well, that really couldn't be the issue. Yeah, but you know who is fucking Lance motherfucking Reddick?
Hell yeah,
yeah.
Rest in peace for. I'm still sad about that.
Well, I was gonna say I can't think of his name, but this is Littlefoot's actor right when Game of Thrones is still going on.
Oh, really?
And then Sean Ashmore around this time would be coming off of The Following, or
I don't know, because he has a twin brother that looks exactly the same. So you could be thinking it's him, and it's actually his brother.
Well, I actually think that they look too similar, to be honest. Actually,
his brother's the one I think that's in Warehouse 13, but he's the one who's in The Following and The Boys.
His brother has been in movies literally since like the 90s. Like he was so famous. I was like, oh my god, him? Wow.
I mean, Sean Ashmore is known for playing Iceman in the.
Oh, you mean his real brother? I thought you meant like in
X-Men movies.
Sean's the one on the right. I can instantly tell.
No.
Yeah, but they look exactly almost the same.
Yeah, they do.
Hey, he was also in.
They didn't hire him to be his brother in the game, right? They used like an actual other.
Yeah, they
person.
used
James Monaghan. Is that his last name? I don't remember.
I just know he's
Dominic Monaghan.
There you go.
They used a Hobbit.
He's been in movies like forever. So it's like, oh shit.
Sir, he is also in Lost. How dare you?
Lost was also a popular show that they're making fun of as well.
Fuck Lost. But let's not go there. You will be mad at me.
Yeah, but his character is actively just Charlie at this point.
A lot of TV shows I'm glad I didn't watch, because every time I mention the people are like, that fucking sucked, and it's like,
no, Lost is great. It's just wild.
It was great. Then you get to the last season and you go, and then the show shits on you in your face. So not very nice.
2.5 Men, also bad apparently.
Oh yeah, that one. No.
Okay, so yeah, it's
not
Quantum Break. But I like Sean Ashmore. I also know his brother because his brother's also in Veronica Mars, and I wasn't sure which brother it was, but it's not this one. It's the other guy. Also, the other guy is in Lock and Key. But they look. I mean, they look a lot alike. But I didn't know who's who. So I'm surprised Tiffany must not be able to hear me out here. She'd be yelling something about because I mentioned Veronica Mars. But I like the actor. I was happy to see him in this. That's one reason I was like, I was interested in this game when it came out. I'm like, okay, cool, actors. I mean, I don't care if they get actors. I don't care if you make a character, but I don't have an issue with it, and I feel like it works here for what they're doing. The Montague guy, he was good too. Littlefinger, I only know him from Game of Thrones. I'm like, okay, cool, he's here. Like, all right, he plays a villain. Who would have guessed?
And he does it brilliantly.
He does. And I really like the idea that this game starts off where you go to see your friend Paul, played by Littlefinger, and he made a time machine experiment that he wants you to help him with, but he essentially goes back in time. Oh God, this is going to be hard. Oh.
All right, so I as much as I hate to admit it, I have a form of degree in time travel. It's mostly my husband's fault because I have to argue with him. So to argue with him, I have to keep up. The very gay Jack Joyce goes to see his very gay friend, and y'all cannot tell me they were not gay. Like, he was so excited to see him. Fuck you. So the idea is he goes to go see his friend. He basically invents time travel by going through a big circular-shaped tube. Now, going through this big circular-shaped tube starts off basically the premise of everything that goes bad. Spoilers for a little bit later on, but honestly, if you're listening to us, expect spoilers, blah, blah, blah. What ends up happening is Paul ends up, instead of going, he ends up saying he's going to go, 8 minutes in the future, I think he said?
Like 2 minutes or 4. It's not very long.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes.
But in fact, he ended up seeing what he referred to as the end of time, which is basically everything ending, which, funny enough, is his fault.
I thought the end of time was just an old guy blowing a bubble at a lamppost.
I don't know what that joke references.
What is that?
Chrono Trigger?
Yes, thank you, Alan. The rest of you.
I've never played those games.
Yeah, me neither.
It's been too long.
Long story short, which is also spoiler and revealed, Paul ends up seeing the edge of time, or showing that time eventually ends. He ends up going back in time to 1970 time to create Monarch, which Monarch also currently exists, and he's been the shadow president the whole time, blah, 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 and revealing that he's trying to stop time from ending.
Brilliant. It wasn't bad.
Brilliant, actually, yeah.
So yeah, the whole idea is he goes back to 2016 to change. Well, no, he goes back to 1999, and the 99. So that when you see him in 2016 later on, he's aged because he went back in time.
Spoilers for a future episode. If you love hearing me talk about time travel, wait till you get to the Kingdom Hearts 3 episode.
Oh God damn it!
Oh, I'm skipping that.
Save
one.
that for later. I'll hear about that enough coming up soon.
And next week's going to be a 4-hour recording.
Yeah, it is.
Well, considering we've talked about 30 seconds of this game and we're
about 20 minutes in.
Yeah, 30 minutes into the record.
Well, 20 minutes in the recording, 30 minutes into the call.
Yeah.
Well, the idea is that Jack Joyce is there because his brother also helped Paul create time travel.
Now, before we get any farther into the game, did anybody watch the YouTube video that Sam Lake put out right after they announced this game?
No, what video?
Someone didn't put that in the chat.
There is a video. I just found it maybe yesterday. It's Sam Lake, and he's sitting there, and he basically says, look, I know you want Alan Wake 2. We don't have the money to make Alan Wake 2. This game is what Microsoft wants, so this is what you're going to get right now.
That's crazy.
I do remember that video.
It went out mere moments after they announced the game at E3. And
they couldn't get funding for Alan Wake 2. Microsoft wouldn't do it. I was watching the thing. They're like, yeah, they were trying. Microsoft just said, nope, didn't sell good enough.
Did Alan Wake 1 not do that well?
No.
Not till later.
No, that's the fun part about this is a lot of Remedy games don't do well according to the bigger landscape of gaming. But to them, they do wonderful because they are just making these niche games that they personally love. If it sells anything, they win.
They are in a position that Blumhouse, which is so much that their gaming division goes to in the future. They want that so bad to just make cult classic after cult classic.
And I mean, that's what they're doing. They just need somebody to be able to fund it.
How many publishers have they had now?
Epic and Rockstar and
505.
Microsoft.
I had a few.
And didn't they just make a deal with Annapurna?
Yeah, but
or is that for the
that was for
TV
the
stuff?
TV stuff they wanted to do.
All right.
Yeah, I'm curious actually technically they're even I would say they still shop around, but I forgot that they're doing the Max Payne remasters for Rockstar.
Yes, of the two good Max Payne games.
Supposedly Annapurna, that branch collapsing will have no problems with the deal.
I press X to doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with Alan. I don't see a way where a company that was going to pay for you goes away you're going to be okay. So
Listen, I'm happy to be proven wrong. Keep my expectations low. Keep the bar low. That way, you just never get disappointed. But
Well, I
I'm
thought
happy to be
Netflix
surprised.
was doing an Alan Wake show. Anyway, Quantum Break.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, Netflix, okay.
So those minor characters, how are we feeling about like Liam Burke's whole little subplot and
I like him.
the little techie
Yeah.
dweeb dude? Yeah.
Yeah,
too.
it's really fun because no character in this is technically a villain. They're antagonists, sure, but everybody's the hero of their own story.
Wrong. I will disagree with you on that.
I disagree with her too.
No, I don't. I think that's right.
I fucking hate. I will admit though, I hated that little Weasley fucker the entire fucking every episode he was in, especially because I hate the character who's
I
like
hate that he looks like Will Wheaton, and I keep wanting to refer to him as such.
fair. He also looks like one of my old bosses I used to have when I went to GameStop. He was a really cool guy, but same kind of thing where he definitely smiled the same way. It's super weird, but I will admit that I hated him because I always hate the shtick of, well, I have to help the bad guy. I don't want to die. And it's like, dude, fuck you. Have some goddamn moral high ground and fucking stop helping the literal... This is not going to age well. Stop helping the literal bad guy, you motherfucker. He does redeem himself, which I'll get into. And you know what, though? Him redeeming himself completely gave me a whole face turn, and I absolutely loved him for that. So I will admit that it was very well written.
That's also something that the YouTube video I watched disagreed with, but I agree with you, Joe.
Remedy does this thing, and you guys already talked about it, but like they have this thing where they write on like a razor's edge where it could be the lamest thing you've ever heard, but it works because they do it right, and I don't know how they do it, but like when Jack and Littlefinger like first get together, they are saying the lamest shit back and forth to each other, and I'm like, if this was anyone else saying these words, or these same people saying these exact same words a little bit differently, it would have been awful. But for some reason, it works. And all of this lame-ass time shit with huge plot holes all over it. It's just like, I don't care. It's just, we're having fun here. And I don't think anybody writes that way except for Remedy. And that's why I have a problem with Max Payne 3, because it's not Remedy, it's Rockstar, and they put the Rockstar grit in there, and it doesn't work.
It's true. It's basically just it's such a tone shift in it.
Yeah,
the gameplay is amazing. I will say that. I still think it's fun to play,
that's fine. But that's not what I come to Remedy games for.
No, you gotta have both.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my thing about, because you guys were talking about like the writing and stuff, and I think that the balance between lame and like the way that it works is like it's like so necessary for these games to work. And in this one, there's nothing like I think the TV show works a lot less because it wasn't written by Remedy, and
that's fair.
They didn't have the money that they needed, because like these guys with their like body armor and shit look awful.
I didn't think that, but okay. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention. Maybe
they took at one point Littlefinger is giving a speech, and it's a live action thing, and they use a bad take because you can see him go. He like sort of goes, "Today is the day," and then he's like, "Today is the day." I'm like, why did you put that in the game?
Okay. I did not catch that. I was absorbed into the story from, like, I didn't have any issue with the random talking that they did. Like, I was just on board with this timey-wimey story from the get-go. I also love the shape of the time machine, that it's like you walk in a circle and then you come out the other end and it's a whole different, like, you go into the future or the past. Like, I think that's also really cool.
It's not a spiral, it's a loop.
God damn it.
And I like how you have to go to another time machine. So it's not like you can go back to, like, 1918 or whatever and like kill the baby Hitler. It had to have been from 1999 to whenever, time ends or whatever. But the time machine had to be there. You can't just like go. I thought that was interesting.
I just screamed off camera. I'm gonna.
You okay,
You're
Joe?
totally good.
No, that spiral reference really pissed me off. I'm sorry. I
didn't even quote the poem yet, you know?
What's the poem?
The waves, where the waves are wilder and more serene. To its ports I've been. To its ports I've been.
Thank you, Thomas.
Which does segue into Beth Wilder.
Oh,
And her
I did not-
was pretty actually cool to me. I really enjoyed that whole thing.
I do too. I did not recognize her.
Oh, you
I didn't either.
How? No. This brings up a point I want to mention that this is going to sound stupid, but I'm going to say it anyway. I do believe that women can completely change their looks easily and look like completely different people. Example, great friend of mine, a friend who made the music for our show, Helena. I remember someone that she used to be with. I remember seeing pictures of them together, and the guy who made a comment like, "Look, I have 4 different girlfriends because she just looked different all the time. The way she does her hair." Scarlett Johansson, someone that can look completely different. I feel like women just are able to do that. Like I did not, even though she don't look that different from Jessie in Control, did not recognize her at all until someone told me it's the same actress. And I was like, what?
That's insane. And also, from now on, whenever we talk about Beth or Jessie, anything that Courtney Hope does, just picture little hearts like floating above my head while we're talking about it. I just wanted to make that clear that there's literal hearts floating above my head. Exactly.
I will mean this 2 ways in the nicest way possible. One for myself, one for her. One, I have facial blindness. I've talked about this before in the V for Vendetta episode. If anyone's listened to that. I have facial blindness and do not recognize people very easily. I think it's actually an issue. And 2, the graphics are different, so she does look different, but I apologize to the actress. She has extreme 5 head in this, so obviously did not recognize her with bangs from Control.
Nate, what about you? Were you able to see the likeness?
You know, I was, but she has a facial tick in Control that was not here in Quantum Break.
No, that's the graphics. We all talked about that in Control. That's just the graphics.
Okay.
Yeah, they also do a weird thing with her jaw in Control where it's like way more overbitey than in real life. And I don't know what's up with that, but
To me, she looked a completely different person. But it could be the graphics aren't the best. I mean, they're still very good. As a guy who plays way too many retro games, I'm having a weird case. I'm playing 2 games that are from the Xbox One, PS4 era, and I'm like, wow, the games are beautiful. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happened when all you play is old games.
I think most people look at Control's lip flaps and like how they animate during like conversation and kind of see an uncanny valley there, especially with Pope.
Yeah, that could be it. It distracted me a lot in Control.
yeah, I think it distracted me the most with what is his name? The shit.
But I
The
see
security?
Arish.
With Arish?
Yeah.
Yeah. His face freaked me out. I was like, I'm more scared of him than anybody else, than any like monsters in this game.
I just felt like everyone opens their mouth way wider when they say vowels than normal. Like they want to bite into an apple every time. I'm just like, you don't have to show that much tonsil, dude. But fair, it's fine. That's a nitpick. So Quantum Break. So yeah, Beth Wilder being this like time police, time warrior that like literally has a conversation with herself to like, and a journal to like keep all of her thoughts in order while she is on this great mission to, defeat Serene in this fight is like.
I like how she gets trapped in time and has to live out 11 years waiting for him to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure is weird.
That's fucking cool.
Oh my god, she's River Song.
If there is actual time travel, that would happen to people. I don't think time travel will ever be possible just because, the world would be over already because somebody would have fucked everything up. But, I mean, they would have. If someone could time travel, then we'd all be dead because the world just imploded.
Mike, maybe it's a slow burn. Maybe it's happening right now.
Oh, I hate you, Phoebe. I love the idea of time travel. I've always been really fascinated by it. So, for this game, it really connected to me. And I like time powers. I mean, I kind of felt like the Flash a little bit when he ran towards someone when you're in the speed mode and he punches him in the face. It reminded me of the Flash.
Must not recommend Homestuck to Mike.
Oh god damn it, no.
You should read 11/22/63 by Stephen King if you like time travel stuff. That book is so good.
Does it come with pictures?
No, but it has a miniseries with James Franco.
Oh, yes.
You talking about the one of the Kennedy one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I know of it.
Fantastic.
It's on Hulu, which I don't have. This is on other
It's on
stuff
Tubi now. They moved it.
Oh, okay. Tubi I have, because, it's free. Okay. No, I'm always been a fan. But I also do believe in the whole theory that if you mess with time, that time is not something that can be changed. There is a fate that is supposed to happen, whether you want it to or not. I do believe that. I have always been a believer that there are certain things that happen that are just meant to happen. In that whole idea.
This is a canon event, sir. we can't change it.
If Nate can recommend something, can I also recommend something?
Right.
The 12 Monkeys TV show.
Oh.
Isn't that a movie too?
I'd rather watch the TV show than the movie.
I mean, but there is a movie, right? Like I'm not.
There is a movie.
The one with Kano on the cover. That's not Kano.
It's Brad Pitt.
I know, but like it has a red eye. When I was a kid, I thought it was Kano from Mortal Kombat. When I saw it at the old Blockbuster, and I have yet to ever see that movie.
The Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt movie, 12 Monkeys, but I like the TV show, which coincidentally, since Sean Ashmore's in this and he's Iceman, the main character is Pyro from the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Okay, so Quantum Break.
So what was your favorite power, you guys? Mine personally was like the one that like puts a like field in front of somebody that makes your bullets like freeze right in front of you and then launch them at like double speed. I love that.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
I liked tie brush because I could run behind guys and then I'd come out of it and they'd be like, huh? And then I would just shoot them with my shotgun and I was like, yes.
Like the gameplay itself is very solid. Like honestly, the exploration stuff was kind of like a backseat thing. Some of the set pieces was pretty good. Like the train and stuff, like blasting through the station, that was awesome.
Oh,
the
yeah.
section with the boat, that was crazy. But the bread and butter of this game is the gunfights that happen.
Yeah, I think this is their best playing game. Like everything felt really smooth and snappy.
Yeah, I still think Control played better, but I think this was like definitely a huge step up. Like from Alan Wake's I'm sorry, but really boring gameplay, this was a huge step up as far as gameplay goes. I had a lot of fun playing this thing, regardless of, I want to say I had problems with the story, but like I didn't have problems with it. It just doesn't make sense if you think about it. It's almost like it was written by a hack. We'll get to that later as well.
Someone's been watching Ricky.
I know where he's going with that.
But yeah, I'm a huge I'm big on puzzle platformers, and I thought that the puzzle platforming with the time stuff was good. By the end of the game, when you have all of your powers, the gunfights almost become puzzle fights, because depending on who you're fighting and like where they are and how many of the different types of enemies there are, you had to like do this to get this one, and then figure out which ones you had to kill first. I thought all of the gameplay stuff was really good.
This game would have really benefited from like a Control style like side content, like raid mode thing or something, like a Mercenaries, where you can use all of that stuff forever to like do high scores. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Shame I didn't get that.
I think the main thing that I could probably think of, which would probably end up being what it is, I feel like I feel like Quantum Break plays better, but a lot of the stuff that I can see that totally got shifted over to Control. Control's a lot more fun to play. What the hell, Colby? Distracted me. But I feel like Control's a lot more fun to play because there's a lot more powers you can have, and it's a little bit more fun and things like that. I do feel like they know what they're doing, and like I know Alan Wake is kind of the premise of them having their horror game. I'm very much excited to see what they're able to pull off when they make Control 2 finally, because I feel we'll have way more of a fun time with that when they're actually able to give their characters supernatural powers.
What's crazy is that they've linked their games in such a way now that they're so entangled that Control 2, Alan Wake 3, and whatever the heck they can do to reference Quantum Break all throughout it is going to be either something that completely falls flat on its face or is one of the greatest pieces of media to ever grace us.
Well, they already incorporated, Max Payne in with Alex Casey. And I'm not... I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here, but we have Sean Ashmore in Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
Traveling through time.
Good point, because he's in the darkness.
Yeah. So like it's already going.
And then we have Jesse in the multiverse and Gemma.
We have Jesse in the multiverse, and in the DLC, it's directly referenced.
Save that part of the conversation for another day.
Yes, yeah.
It's also in the main game, though. That's not a spoiler. It's for literally a second, but it's there.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's on Breaker's whiteboard. About the stuff about the redheaded woman is all over his whiteboard.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have a weird question, including talking about Jesse and then also Beth. So in the TV show, the live action TV show, which we're going to go back and forth to, because honestly, I do feel like they were written separate apart, especially because Sean Ashmore is not in that show. Period. So like
a little bit.
He's like in it for like one episode out of the 4 episodes that they make.
Oh, it was expensive to get him on the set the whole time.
No, I feel like he's in it.
He's in it more than that.
And keep in mind, too, they had to shoot each episode like twice for each choice that you made.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I guess choices I made, he wasn't in them technically, so whatever. Or the one that I saw, because
I saw him in mine, I want to say, but then again, you and I beat this game. I played it very quickly.
But does Beth have a sister in this?
No, it's herself.
Yeah, it's herself.
She went back in time and gave herself something, but it's herself.
She gave herself the diary of stuff that she was trying to stop and couldn't.
No, the girl that's like that Charlie hits on all the fucking time.
That's just her friend, I thought.
Is it her friend? I thought it was her sister. My bad.
No, that's just a worker at Monarch.
Okay.
I
don't know why I thought it was her sister. My bad.
You got an edible?
No.
Okay.
No, I thought that the whole time when I was playing it. I was like, that must be your sister.
I mean, that would make sense. That's a logical suggestion.
Yeah, because there's parts where she's telling, the guy's name is Charlie, right? Like, I'm completely right about that.
Yeah.
There's times where she's telling Charlie, Charlie, stop being a fucking idiot. We need to do what Beth says and believe that Beth. That's why I'm like, it must be your sister for her to believe in her that much. So.
I mean, that's a fair statement. They never say it's her sister, but that is a completely fair where you're coming from.
Yeah. And I'm bringing that up because she has a twin brother, so I thought that was like, oh, this is maybe some kind of fucked up Destiny bullshit where this is what the difference is, but that was just me thinking weird shit because these games are assholes.
Who had a twin brother? What?
Jesse has a twin brother.
Jesse has a twin brother.
Okay, from Control.
So the joke would the joke would be that in the Quantum Break universe, she has a sister, and that's the difference as to why things aren't as fucked up and blah, blah, blah.
Okay. So, Nate, what did you think of the combat? Because you've been on with me for a bunch of third-person shooters on the show.
I loved it. Every gunfight was so fun. Except for that final battle, but that was just because it was boring.
It's stupid. We'll get there, but it's stupid.
So, are we 4 for 4 now for Remedy Games having a bad final boss fight?
What was Alan Wake 2's?
Exactly.
Did they have one? Right?
It was the soundtrack song.
Yes, the soundtrack song to the final boss fight.
I don't remember.
That's when you. Spoilers, guys, for the ending of Alan Wake 2 now. You take Odin and Thor, and they drive all the way to the beach in Cauldron Lake. They sing a badass song, and the whole time you're fighting, and then you fight Alan, which is Scratch, or no. Yes.
Fight Scratch.
Alan is Scratch. Scratch is Alan.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute, because then after that you're Alan, and then you go to back to Nights, or back
I don't remember either.
Bright Falls, and then it's all nice, and then
there is no final boss fight.
There is no final boss. That is the final boss. The rest of it is a final, I would say, experience, basically.
You don't need final bosses in video games anymore, in my opinion, depending on your game. Like, it's fine. It can just end. Like, games will be better for it. Had you not, if you did, in this game, if you did not have to have that stupid final fight with Paul and you could just shoot the goons and then the game ended, been a better game. Because that whole scene of you having to run from the red lights and him going, this is not good, or whatever the hell he says before you burst flames and die, that would have been better if you didn't have that. It would have been a lot better. Been like, oh, you shot him. Yeah, he's human. He's dead. Game over. You won. Congratulations. Like, I've been happier.
Yeah, I kind of like that, though. I kind of like a game. A lot of people had a lot of shit talking to say when Fable 2 came out, and the last like boss fight with this guy that was like built up throughout the whole game was just a dude. And I think if that's like what you're getting at, I like that. Like Serene, he's this huge, high-powered, CEO guy, time powers, time travel, all this stuff. He's still just a guy. And
with cancer.
Yeah, with like some sort of crazy Crohn disease, and he dies just like anybody else. And I think that's cool. The fight is not fun, don't get me wrong. But as far as the story part of it goes, you know, we're not the actual antagonist, I think, is not even Serene. I don't think it's Paul. So when we fight him and he's just a guy, even though he's been built up for the whole game, I'm like, oh yeah, of course he's just a guy. That's cool. I like this. And I might be alone, and that's fine.
Well, it's a nice version that like the real enemy is Hatch.
Yes.
You mean Wesker, right?
No, we
Remember,
mean
Lance Reddick played Wesker in that.
whatever you
Oh
like.
shit, he
show.
did, didn't he? Yeah.
Yes, he
fuck.
did. Hey, that's on this podcast.
I was on that
Where did he
podcast,
play
dude.
Wesker?
In the Resident
Netflix
Evil
show.
live-action show, he plays Wesker.
Oh.
Yeah, he looks
Probably
like
the
Blade at
only
end.
good thing to come out
Yeah.
of that show.
I don't
It
want
was.
to watch the Resident Evil live action show, but now I do because
No,
Lance
no, you
Reddick's
don't.
in it.
No, you don't. I mean, I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I
You
actually
can't
had good
save
things
that,
to say
though.
about it.
You can't save bad writing with good acting, right?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
that-
He does it. He did it more than once.
I will tell you right now, Lance Reddick looks the size Lance Reddick is. He is Wesker. The outfit he wears when they reveal that he is Wesker, which it sounds weird, but if you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about, is the funniest fucking look ever because they made Lance Reddick look like Wesker and also look like Blade.
Yes. They
What?
Give him the whole black. They give him Wesker's out from RE5, essentially, the black coat and everything. But
and
All
he
right. You sold. You don't have to keep talking. You've sold me on this show.
He has
Okay,
he has a flat top afro, you guys.
No, I don't believe you. Oh my god. It's the first picture on Google. What the fuck?
yeah, that show is. My issue with that show is
something else.
it ends getting ready for season 2. Yeah, we never get in
Canceled.
season 2. So
Ain't that the way?
I mean,
Is the way.
your shows just should have an ending because you never know if someone's going to sign that checkbook again. So.
Oh my god, he does look like Blade. Holy shit.
Hey, that's probably the closest we ever get to another Blade.
Oh, you say
this-
that. There
No,
are
it's gonna come out, Mike.
developments.
It's
It's
gonna
not coming.
come out.
A game
not
or a
coming.
movie?
The movie.
The movie's
It's
not
not
out
Marvel
now.
Zombies animated series.
Yeah, he voices Blade Moon Knight in the zombie Marvel series.
Lance Reddick?
Yeah.
Ali.
Oh no,
No,
yeah,
Marshall
Marshall
Ali?
Ali. Yeah.
Oh, he's never going to play Blade. I don't think that movie's ever going to happen. But I think
You will at least play him in an animated version.
Well, yeah, fucking, what the fuck is it? Wesley Snipes already said it in the Deadpool movie. There's only
Yeah.
ever going to be one Blade.
And then there was something that came out earlier after that movie where they were like, yeah, the Blade movie's on hold again.
Indefinite.
Ah,
I don't know why people struggle making movies sometimes like that. But, so speaking of Quantum Break, there were a few moments that really got me. Like when you have the ship that gets is falling apart through time as you're trying to reverse and forward time to get past it. That was annoying, but very fucking cool set piece. Hated every second of it, but very cool. I died
Yeah,
a lot.
I think
Sometimes when it boils down to trial and error gameplay, that's when it kind of just gets like, I get the idea. Just let me move past it.
I have a very specific funny set piece that goes towards what you are talking about for the final boss fight. But before I do that, do any of y'all have a very specific set piece that y'all like?
I'm gonna be honest about this. I installed the game this week and it barely ran. This Xbox is a joke and a half. So I saw up to the boat, did the whole boat set piece. It still holds up, and then the game crashed. Half the cutscenes in this game crashed the game.
Oh my god.
You have a launch Xbox One though, right?
Yeah.
She's
probably
rocking the
why.
VCR.
I played this on a brand new gaming PC.
Like
or
Microsoft,
laptop.
make a good console. What?
I mean, I played it on Series
It's
X.
good, you just-
It's fine. It works.
Yeah,
wait
I played this on Steam Deck and everything worked except for the live action cutscenes. They would just buffer so much that I just went to YouTube.
no, I played it on an Xbox Series S and it was fine.
Yeah, a roommate bought me the Series X, and then the very next day or so, we returned it because it was just such a broken heap right out of the box.
Oh,
wow.
the X was broken?
Yeah, the
surprised.
graphics card was
Probably got unlucky.
every
then.
game
Yeah, it
has
was just
some
DOA,
problem
wow.
with it.
Huh.
I was wondering why you returned it, because I remember you talking about it, but you... that's sad. And I wanted a Series X. My Xbox One is dead, too, but it was a Titanfall bundle, so I just assumed that it was an early model and they all suck.
Nah, screw it. all hail the PS5 and the Switch.
Just
Oh,
PC.
yeah.
Not the Switch though.
That's why I bought
How dare you?
a very nice gaming laptop. I'm like, nope, it's just time to get on Steam all the way at this point.
Yes, it seems great.
Yeah, I'm 90% Steam at this point.
Yeah, I
Same.
mean, I have my Nintendo Switch for my very, very few Nintendo games I play, and I have a PS5 for a few games I play on there. But like, yeah, I mostly just Steam at this point.
Yeah, I have my Switch for Metroid Dread, period. And then my Steam Deck for everything
dare you.
else.
I have the Switch for just things that are published by Nintendo, developed in house.
Pretty much. I hate Nintendo, but that's another story. We don't need to get there again.
Yeah, Nintendo has nothing to do with Quantum Break.
No.
Does anybody else have a favorite sequence that they happens?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's what we were talking about, huh?
I'm biased
Yeah.
to trains. Okay, anything with a train sequence on, no matter what it is, that's.
Wait, there was a train sequence in here?
Yeah, it was like one of the first ones. Yeah, it's like a train.
Again,
Like,
I
bursting
off
a
the
wall.
meme. I have no memory of this.
I don't either.
I
Now the train's the end.
there's
the end?
I thought the train was at the end.
It was the end. Okay, my
It
bad.
was crashing through the building.
Well, to be fair,
Oh, the one
ending
crashing
could also
through
be the
the-
beginning
okay.
because you're time-wimey.
Yeah, no, I now I remember the train. I was like, what?
I don't remember the train.
crashing through the building. Yes, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Is that when you go back in time?
I think it's whenever you're walking up for the final act where it's like
Yeah,
you're like time's fucked and there's like shit
Yeah,
going on.
Like everything is
Yeah.
bad. It's so bad. It's just
it
one of the things
crashes-
that's happening.
through the Monarch building.
Yeah, we didn't talk
Right?
about. Yeah, I don't have no idea. And the speedrun I'm watching didn't get to it yet. But like Monarch being a whole like military government type authoritarian, it's just weird.
Did they explain why they're like that? Did Paul just make them like that, or like?
Yeah, because he was trying to prepare so much for the EOT, the end of time, and also try to basically, kidnap Jack's brother, right? That it just kind of built up that way, and he was able to use, I'm assuming, kind of like, Biff Tannen strategy of like, I know everything that's going to happen,
Yes.
so I'm going to hedge my bets on everything.
They do make a comment about he knew what companies would blow up, so he bought stock in them, like Apple or stuff like that.
Hmm.
Oh, he bought Apple stock with his Windows brand Windows phone.
Well, he
those
didn't buy
things.
stock in Zune, I can tell you that much.
Did he
Yeah.
buy stock in Nissan?
Innovation
Because-
that excites.
Because every car in the show and in the video game are all Nissans. 100%
Are they?
of them.
I've
Yes.
noticed that Remedy
Maybe
likes to
Nissan
license
helped fund
cars.
the game.
Well, Nissan probably paid part of it
Yeah,
then.
I'm
I haven't
sure
You
they
guys
did.
remember Alan Wake, the original, when you drive in a Lincoln with Microsoft Sync in it?
Yeah, and
No.
you get
How about the
Energizer
Verizon
batteries.
ads?
Yeah,
I'm okay with
the
a Verizon ad.
Verizon
Makes sense.
achievement.
yeah.
But it all makes sense. It's not like you're playing Doom and there's signs for stuff. Like if it fits the world like a Verizon on a billboard when you're driving down the highway, that's fine because it's realistic.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it. It was noticeable that, that it was
I
like
did not get that.
it was one of the things like in
Final Fantasy,
Superman,
Advent Children.
like in the what do you call that? The Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, the Justice League movie when they like close up on the car like logos on the cars when they pull up. It was just a lot of Mitsubishi. It was a lot of Nissan stuff. I just thought it was funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is funny, but I guess you do what you got to do to get funded.
Oh,
So.
for sure. Yeah, when you're a company like Remedy, yeah, let Energizer pay for your weird action horror
Batteries.
game.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
So,
They really need to do it like Wayne's World did it with their
Oh, yeah.
advertisement.
Jack,
See?
the time loop's getting worse. Quick, let's hop into our Nissan brand car. Look at the car. Don't worry, I've got my Glock brand gun on me at all times.
And if we need to like kill some pain, I have these Tylenol with me.
Down them with this bottle of Poland Springs water.
I love that movie.
This is gonna go full Metal Gear at this point.
To watch that movie whenever I'm done. 'Cause I'm gonna get stoned tonight. But real quick tangent. Even though we're always doing really bad tangents in this.
Yeah, this has been the tangentiest episode I've we're
This
going
is one of the
all over
worst, yes.
time.
Yeah,
We're gonna
so-
loop it back to Quantum Break.
No, I'm not. But I know how to. So, anyways,
Just spiraling out of control.
yeah. So my friend bought that Windows phone. I had a friend that bought the Windows phone, and it's funny because we're all big Xbox people back then. And they're like, I was like, so you got the Windows phone? They're showing me like, hey, look, my Xbox avatar is on the front, and look, it can show what kind of games I'm playing. It's such a Windows phone. I'm like, oh, that is pretty cool. Not even like 2 weeks later, I go over their house. They're on a Samsung like Note phone. I'm like, what happened to your Windows phone? Oh, because it's Windows, doesn't use any app, not Apple, Android app. So it's like, yeah, it was a phone, but I couldn't do shit on it. And I'm like, oh, so you returned it? Yeah, it wasn't that great anyways. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you just gotta stick with Android or Apple, whatever. If you're nuts, you use Apple products. Like some people I know.
Shut up.
Yeah, I use Apple.
It's 10 years old. It's held together by tape. It's fine.
I got nothing. I hate Apple, by the way. So
I can't
Same.
believe Jack's brother's time machine was held together by duct tape. That was fucking crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like a lot of the environments in this game, actually.
I do
Now that we talk about it.
Oh yeah, hey, that reminds me when you have to climb to the top of his time machine to like reboot it, and like they told me that, I was like, that's so fucking stupid. And then Jack was like, yeah, way to put this up here, Will. And I was like, yes.
God, my brother's a fucking idiot. Fucking can't even make a fucking time machine right.
Damn it.
Why was that shit up there?
To make
So they-
you go up there.
Yeah, so that you had to climb it. Gameplay purposes.
Yeah, because it didn't make any sense. Yeah, I know it was gameplay, but I was like, I do like that he made a comment about it. I think it was cool that there's multiple time machines, even though I'm like, how the fuck did this guy afford to rent all these buildings? I mean, doesn't this state we're in Seattle, right?
Will?
What country? What state are we in? Say?
I don't remember.
Definitely a
I don't
coastal town,
remember.
but I don't remember which coast.
I don't remember either.
Doesn't Will say he's
I don't think he rented the building because where his time machine is like an old abandoned pool.
Massachusetts, Riverport. Yeah, Phoebe was right.
really?
All right.
Okay.
See, Phoebe, when you said Riverport, I didn't know what that was. I'm like, what is she saying?
Yeah, but I thought there was only one time machine, and Monarch moved it from where they had it to the pool.
There's the one that he built that's in the pool, and then there's the one that Paul built, which is at the school.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of the countermeasure. Never mind.
No.
The countermeasure was the same one. It just got stolen through time and moved around a bit. Because when you can do timey-wimey stuff like this to where things are what they seem.
There's a third time machine. I thought they established that Paul made a time machine while he was working for Monarch. That's why they got the one from the school and then put it in the one in somewhere else.
Yeah,
in Monarch.
I thought there was only two. I thought it was the one in the pool and then the one that Monarch had. Because it wasn't that the whole point was that they tore down the library. That's why they were protesting, because they were going to tear down the library to make it like a lab. And that was what that was that they tore down the library and turned it into a lab around the time machine. That's how I understood it anyway.
I think he's right. I'm not sure. I remember the protesters, but I didn't really pay attention to what they were protesting about.
Yeah, she says like tomorrow they're tearing down the library to put up a lab.
Not put up a parking lot?
Nice.
That was not nice. Don't compliment him for that. Yeah, but that, like, I don't know. We didn't talk about any of the choices. Like, what did you do with Amy? Did anybody have Amy killed to make their gameplay experience easier? Mike Albertin?
I did not. I couldn't have Amy killed. She looked like Anna Kendrick. It's not, but it looked like
I kept her alive.
Okay. For some reason, I was like, Mike's going to kill her because they
Mike
say
thought
in the
about it.
game it's going to make your life easier.
I thought about it because I'm like, technically, by them doing this, it wouldn't make things right. Like, I did think about that, but this game is not easy anyway. Like, it wasn't.
I did both.
Wait, how would it make it easier? I don't understand that.
When you make the decision, it says, if you kill the protester, then everybody's going to turn against Monarch, and it's going to make Jack's life easier. But if you save her, then everybody's going to be on Monarch's side and everyone will be like looking for Jack. And I don't think that it actually I don't think it actually like changes anything, but the way that they word it makes it sound like the game's going to be easier if you do kill Amy.
Because throughout this game, you do have, after each chapter, this game is 5 chapters, but after the first 4, you have a moment where you play as Paul for like 10 minutes, like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and you make a decision each time. Like one is, who's the traitor, Lance Hendrick or the woman, the doctor?
Yeah, and at that point, you know who the traitor is, so I don't know why that's a choice.
I picked the doctor.
Oh, I picked Lance
because
Hendrick.
Lance Reddick is the traitor. Like, you know that by that point.
I know, that's why I picked the doctor.
See, I picked Lance Reddick because I was like, oh, that would be more interesting. And at that point, like, Paul could probably figure out that if this doctor wanted to betray him, she would just, like, be like, oh, we're all out of the cure for you. We can't help you. You know?
I thought the idea was supposed to be is that also, what was it? I thought Paul said something about that too, where he's like, who's a traitor? But I thought the point was that he did know who the traitor was, but he's like, if I say it's Lance Reddick now, he's just gonna fucking be an asshole about it. So I could say it's the doctor for right now. But I thought he did already know that he was a traitor anyways. It was just him being like, do I actually acknowledge it's him, or do I just say it's not him so he'll fuck off?
Yeah, I don't know if Paul knows it at that point, but you as the player definitely know it.
Yeah,
you know that Lance Reddick is doing some shit.
I don't think Paul knows because he also, like, one of his issues is he's been going in between time so much that he doesn't really know what's real and what's not at this point. I mean, I do like that idea that if you're able to see time and you start checking things, I believe in the same idea that if you check time and look at one thing, that you change the outcome of what it could have been now.
But the whole point of everything he's saying is that you can't change it. I guess you're making the decisions which sets that thing in sets that thing in place. Is that right?
I think so. It's more of the idea that if you can't change time, but if you look at something and think you perceive it wrong. It's kind of how I take it. I think that's what I want to say.
I was thinking that, because they're saying the whole time you can't change time, and I'm like, well, then how can I make decisions? But now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably because when you make the decision, that's what sets the future in motion, and then you can't change it after you've made that decision.
Or the idea that you already made the decision, which one did you make?
Yeah.
Don't they say time egg in this too at one point?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that was...
Okay.
Yeah.
Really dumb.
Okay, so I've been waiting. Are we all going to talk about it? Are we all going to talk about it?
When I say time egg, what I'm thinking of, you're not thinking of. I can tell you that much. So,
how fucking awesome is Time Knife?
What the fuck is Time Knife?
Is so good.
There is this stupid asshole who someone could probably describe better than I can.
Nate's been talking about Time Knife since we started this chat months ago. And I'm just like, what is he talking about?
Go look it up.
Collectibles, Mike. Collectibles.
Yeah,
Time Knife
collectibles. You know what? Nate described Time Knife. You're way better than I am. So go ahead and explain Time Knife.
And then when you're done, I'm going to explain the actual better set of collectibles. Go ahead.
After Time Knife, there's no more collectibles. The game just gives you a trophy. Time Knife is a script that you can find written by a man who works... I don't exactly know what his job in Monarch is, but it's a lackey job. And he sends it
Bruce
to...
Livingston, to Sophia Amaral.
Yes, he sends it to the doctor.
His boss.
And it's about how... It's a script where this guy, Bruce, goes to stop the wedding of Paul Marine and Sophia... I don't remember what fake last name he gave her. And it has dialogue such as... Yeah, you shot me with those bullets, but I went back in time and I put detonators in them. So now I can explode you in the future.
What the fuck?
It ends. Take this movie, please.
It ends, and it goes back and forth like this too, with like very good action scenes. And it ends with the doctor in the script reveals herself to be Paul Marine. He kills her, and then Paul Marine reveals himself to be like the doctor again, and is like, I was just prepping you for the real fight, which is in the future against Paul Marine. It's so good. 10 out of 10.
So this is a
And then there's
screenplay
Time
essentially.
Stabber, Time to Kill.
This is a screenplay written by one of the lackeys that he sends to his boss about a script that he's writing where her boss is the bad guy and is basically just involved, like Nate said, it's like levels of bad Alan Wake writing where like it's this dude who does not know how to write at all. And like I think my favorite part when you read the first part is like he was given the time knife, a knife that is so obviously a knife, but also a time machine. And then Bruce goes, "How does that work?" And the sexy doctor goes, and I shit you not, the character's name is Sexy Doctor in the first part. And she goes, "I don't know, it's just a time machine and a knife." To which then Paul Marine has a time gun with time bullets.
Yeah. And also at one point, Bruce just goes, "Cool." Like,
Cool.
We all have to start somewhere in our writing, okay?
Well, I think you guys will like this because I'm on the fandom.com entry for Quantum Break, and Time Knife has its own article, and at the bottom it says reception. Time Knife was a largely well-received component of Quantum Break's collective narrative objects. As a separate entity, reviewers responded positively to the intentional lack of quality in the screenplay itself. One of the magazines believed if Remedy set up a legitimate Kickstarter campaign for the mock script, it would, quote-unquote, be probably funded in a day. And another outlet compared the quality of the script to that of Kung Fury.
Kung Fury rules, so...
Yeah,
what would be sad is if that was like an intern writing at Remedy, and they were like, "I'm really proud of this." They're like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah, I think it's the way it is on purpose.
No, yeah, it's intentional, but it is. I was laughing and cringing and going, "This is amazing."
You know, there's a Reddit article for like Alan Wake, obviously the Alan Wake series and everything, and people like talk about how to write, like how badly Alan Wake writes. So there's obviously ways to how to write like you don't know how the fuck you're writing. So I think that's funny.
Okay, now did we all find Adventures in Flesh?
No.
The erotic time travel thing?
So to be fair, some of us didn't read a single file they picked up.
No.
Every single one they found.
No. This was not to read. This is something that someone recorded, and you can play with like a tablet in one of the offices in the parking garage. And if you do that, it plays this erotic thing that this dude was writing over the loudspeakers. And if you trigger it in the game, in one of the episodes of the show, Martin Hatch comes in, and it's playing over the loudspeaker, and he says, "What is this?" And then, you know, whoever is like, "Oh, I don't know, sir, I'm sorry," and he's like, "Make sure it's off." And it's okay. So
I did not find it.
Here's what it says. So he said,
I'm good.
"Here we are. You're gagged and helpless, and I can't wait to send my adventure party into the darkest dungeon located in the soft, damp underbelly of your citadel." He paused and licked his thin lips, and I brought along my 10-foot pole.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
The related dialogue is Monarch Guard. The hell? Is somebody playing an audiobook over the radio? And then the commander's like, "Whoever that is, shut it off now." And Jack's like, "I think I'll just leave that right there."
Yep.
Somebody find out where that's coming from. This is supposed to be a secure channel. Yeah.
Mike
There's more.
Albertin, did you ever think in the 10 years you'd be doing this podcast, someone would read erotic fan fiction on an episode?
We're not 10 years yet.
Specifically, a chapter of a tabletop adventure gaming themed erotic audiobook.
We're almost at 6 years.
From a time travel video game.
I make my
Remedy are Sam Lake is an auteur. We just will never understand the depths of his writing prowess.
Oh yes, I'll take out the battering ram, my pretty. Whatever it takes to smash my way into your sanctum sanctorum.
You know what?
I appreciate Doctor Strange.
I'm gonna use that as some dirty talk next time. Be like,
Well,
let
he
me
said
in.
as he
Like,
pulled on the
slide.
leather gloves and picked up the oversized D20. Let's play.
My husband calls me Vengeance in bed if I wear the Batman mask. So,
That's so good.
so you know, we talk a lot about the side characters. Have we not mentioned the military guy yet?
What military guy? The one that has the wife that's pregnant but not pregnant enough that we can tell?
Pregante.
We mentioned a little bit.
Yeah.
The one whose wife said that I had a dream that you were a cat and you had bear claws.
Is that really a line in this?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I don't remember the show.
And it was the worst, cringiest attempt at flirtation scene.
I don't remember this, and I'm okay with that.
I think my favorite. So I didn't want to get to it yet, but we're bouncing all over the place, so I want to make sure I mention it.
Bouncing, all right.
I'm also getting there. So, and I just took a hit, so I'll be dead in like the next hour. But anyways, my husband got mad at me because I screamed because I was watching the fourth episode, and I actually screamed when Charlie got shot in the head, even though it's something you totally could have saw coming. I legit did not expect it, and I felt super fucking bad. And I'm like, he finally learned his fucking lesson, and he gets shot in the fucking head.
I mean, that was a lesson.
Him getting shot in the head, like how it's done, is one of my favorite, like, I guess tropes, is where like a character is like mid-sentence and talking, and like is kind of like having a revelation about themselves and about the world, and then it's just like, nope, you don't get anything. And I'm like, yes, like I love that in media.
I love it.
I think The Walking Dead traumatized me the most on that, doing it in the most impactful way with that crossbow. Yeah,
that's why I won't watch that. I won't watch The Walking Dead.
Fair. I fucking hate that show. But
it's too depressing. Life is already depressing enough. I don't need a potential
flowers, Mike. Just look at the flowers.
But shut up. But
I didn't get that far. I got to Sasha died in a coffin, and that's when, and then she comes back as a zombie. That's when the show got turned off and never went back.
Wow, you made it further than I did.
And you know what? It's fucked up that you mentioned Alan. Alan, is that you mentioned that? You mentioned that? Okay,
yeah,
it's fucked up that you mentioned that because that's actually the reason why I quit The Walking Dead. I stopped on the season finale where the little blonde sister, the one that's dating Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when she gets shot in the head, that's where I was like, you know what? I'm fucking done. I'm done with the show. I'm sick of being fucking emotionally abused. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with this shit. That's when I quit the show.
For far much longer than that.
I about left when Glenn died, so yeah, I was like, all right, I'm out.
You're smart.
I saw that coming, so I didn't really care. That was revealed like a couple years
before. Book?
Yeah, before. Yeah.
For me, one of my favorite stories for Walking Dead. Yeah, we're everywhere. But I used to work at an assisted living home, and there was an old woman. I went into her room to get her to talk to her or something. And she was watching Walking Dead, and I'm thinking to myself, how can you watch this? You know, 80-year-old woman like, oh, hey, this show is great. I'm just like,
it reminds me of the war. What?
Okay, Gam, let's go to bed now.
But I just remember that she was watching Walking Dead, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this show. Like, no, I'm good. I checked out a long time ago, and every so often it comes up, and I'm like, I'll look at Tiff, like, yeah, we ain't watching this. Like, you do not need to watch this crap. Like, nope, we ain't starting it, and no, we ain't going near it. Like, nope.
But what is that guy's name? Anyways, I can't think of his fucking name.
What guy?
The military guy.
Liam Burke.
Liam Burke is when Burke kills Hatch in like a very cool way, by the way. I think that's like my favorite part of that. And he kills Hatch, and he goes and puts on one of those suits, and they tease it like it's gonna be like the coolest fight ever, and he just goes down like a regular enemy. And so I think that's probably my favorite sequence of this whole game, where they hype that up so much, and it's just a regular fight.
Yep, I was gonna say the same thing, because he's like the main character of the TV show part. And then you see him in the game, and it's like, oh shit! And then he's just a regular dude. And
I thought he was gonna be the final boss,
right? Like we wanted him to be our Max Payne, like kind of stand-in, right? Because of his backstory, kind of like it's set up that way, where he could have had the same thing, but no, just kind of a dude.
Yeah, he is set up. He is set up like he should be quite the fight, but. Yeah, he goes down like a bitch.
I also like how in one of the TV episodes, he shows up, like for me, he shows up at the hospital for his wife. And like he kills the one Monarch person, and his wife just kind of watches in disbelief. And then when he's done like choking this guy to death, she's like, oh, I should go now. Like, and just starts running. And I was like, no, lady, you should have left long ago. Like, once he started, like, pulling military moves on this man.
Can we talk about how handsome he is, though?
Yeah.
Holy moly!
Completely fuckable.
Wow. Why wasn't he the main character in this game?
I would take that man on a bad day.
Holy cow! Yeah, beautiful man.
Beautiful man.
I can't believe they didn't dedicate any time for Beth Wilder's like rough 11 years.
They give you a couple sentences, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I wanted more, like, other than seeing her shooting a gun, and now she has a hat on, and she just looks upset.
Like
I mean,
Did this game ever get like talks of DLC?
no.
Like,
No.
no.
I say maybe.
they probably just...
That it have sold well, maybe like post-launch, maybe like talks might have happened.
when we get Quantum Break 2, after Remedy buys the rights back, maybe we'll see that.
I don't foresee Microsoft selling the rights.
When Remedy buys the rights from Microsoft back, and we...
But then, hey, what do I know?
Quantum
My
Break
little
2.
predictions all turned out wrong, so we'll see. Whatever.
I mean, what is Microsoft gonna do with it? Like, I mean, they shut down Tango, but then that other publisher jumped in and like swooped them up and saved
Thank
them. So like,
God for that.
yeah,
Listen.
absolutely, thank God. But it's like, what is Microsoft? Why wouldn't Microsoft just sell it if they're not reporting strong sales for a lot? So I don't see why Microsoft wouldn't just be like, oh, you want your rights back to this? Like, sure, whatever.
I was gonna like. I don't think it'd be even that hard of a sell. Just be like, listen, we'll make it like a timed exclusive for you if you want. Just give us the IP, for its sequel or whatever.
Listen, do you want the best Connect game to play ever? Fucking Microsoft. You want to talk about keeping shit behind bars and everything? Swery, the dude that made Deadly Premonition.
God
Yep.
damn it.
You
Yeah.
are correct. You are correct.
Phoebe, you can't be mad. You know why? The main character's from Boston.
Are you talking about D4?
I'm
Yeah.
talking about D4.
He's from
D4.
Boston?
Yes, he is from Boston. That game
God damn
is
it, I own
stuck.
this game. If it wasn't for the fact that it's on an Xbox console,
You can play it on Steam with a Kinect.
ooh.
You don't
What
need a
is D4?
Connect. You can play it with controller.
But
I
you
was gonna say,
understand
I
how-
remember playing it with controller.
Yeah.
There is there's a fight sequence in that game. It is the best Connect sequence I have ever played because I had a Connect. That game is never getting fucking more episodes because it was supposed to be an episodic adventure because Microsoft did not fucking pay anything for it. And then we were just like, well, it's the guy who made Deadly Premonition. People obviously will pay it. No one knew it came out. I knew it came out because I kept track. And they're like, oh, the game sold poorly, so we're never fucking making more episodes for it. And Swery's just like, can't do anything about it. They own the rights to it, and they refuse to give them back. It's been a decade, though, Swery. Still can't do shit.
Yeah, they're not.
So-
I mean, companies, there's no reason for a company to give back the rights to something. Even if they make $0 on it, there's no incentive for them to do anything other than shit on it.
Quantum Break had the opportunity to make a time machine about specifically making it so that Scalebound exists in our timeline, but they didn't do it.
That's the plot. That's the plot to Quantum Break 2.
Once Platinum
Quest for
started
Scalebound.
releasing stuff, like Scalebound would have been bad. I'm sorry. Scalebound would have been terrible. Platinum stopped making good games a long time before Scalebound would have came out.
Wait, was Scalebound post Nier Automata or pre?
Around
No.
the same time.
No, post.
It could have
You know
been
what?
good then.
I have proof that you're wrong, Mr. Michael Colby. Bayonetta 3. 99% of that game is great.
Bayonetta 3 is more Bayonetta than you need. And I also played it on my Switch Lite, and I could not see what was going on because there was too much going on. Platinum, it's just too much smashy, mashy bullshit combat. It's terrible. Sorry. Bayonetta sucks.
Joe, you are the only good review so far I've heard for Bayo 3.
Who the fuck said I said it was a good review? I said that game's 99% good and the 1% ending ruins it. Because how the fuck do you turn a lesbian character straight at the end?
I didn't
I
know
did
that you
not.
were a Bayo nutter, Joe.
I am a Bayonetta.
Gross.
So
Yeah.
Quantum Break is a game about time travel.
Hey, I mean, to be fair, we're time traveling in this episode too to other episodes.
To other episodes, to
there we
other
go.
parts in this game.
Okay, so I have
Is there
the
a
best
Games
way
My
to-
Mom Found universe that we're just part of?
Yes.
I'll take it. I mean, there's enough episodes to make one.
I have several questions then as well. Do we not see the monster that Hatch is talking to? Is that just left up as an anomaly?
I don't think we never see it, but there is references to what those things are. They're called splitters or something like that.
I thought they were called
Interesting.
shifters.
Shifters, yeah, you're right.
Like
I
that,
knew it was an
yeah.
S word and I took a gamble. But they're essentially supposed to be the idea that if you go through time, you become a shifter. Like, that they all are essentially shifters, and shifters are beings that are traveling through time that are kind of like, maybe not mirages of yourself, but shadows of yourself. Like,
Is that not what Paul was becoming?
Paul's becoming that.
Yes.
Lance Hendrick's character, Thatch, is that, because you see him get killed in this at one point, but you also see him at the ending of the game giving Jack Joyce a choice for the sequel that we'll never get. So, but that's the idea, is that they're all I think there's a part where you see random people just getting murdered by something, but it's supposed to be a shifter, but they never really elaborate on it.
There are beings that are experiencing their entire lifetime or their entire personal life stream in a single moment, every single moment. So you're dying and you're being born and every other thing that has ever happened in your life.
Yeah,
every single second.
They're Dr.
Forever.
Manhattaning all the time.
So they're the shadow people from Alan Wake and the main enemies from Control.
Yes.
Okay.
But also, did you find the I think it's a collectible at the end, the letter that Hatch writes to Paul?
No.
Where he explains it.
Okay.
I skipped it.
Hatch wants the end of time to happen because for the shifters, what do they call them when time skips?
Stutters.
Oh, stutters.
When the stutters happen, it's the only thing. It's the only time that they get relief from what they're feeling all the time. And once time stops, then the shifters can feel like normal again. And that's why Hatch is trying to make sure that the end of time actually happens.
Oh.
It is expressly said in that I think it's a collectible. I think you can miss it, but it explains Hatch's whole thing in one letter that he wrote to Paul.
See, like I said earlier, every character is the hero to their own story. He's trying to save what is technically his race, but that's what the majority of humanity has turned into at the end of time.
I mean, to be fair, throughout history, too, even the terrible people are their own heroes.
Fair.
So, I'm not going to elaborate on that comment, but yes.
Yeah, but that's what he's doing. That's what Hatch is doing. He's trying to save he's trying to make it so that the shifters, which I would imagine most everybody would become.
Yeah, because they're not in the jail cell lifeboat. So
yeah, because of the Chronon shit, everybody would turn into a shifter, and then I don't know, they wouldn't be human, but they would have a different type of life because even after time stops, the shifters still exist, which is the whole thing that Hatch is doing, which is why I need to know what happens there. So I refuse to give up hope for a sequel to this game.
Yeah, no, I wanted more too. I don't like the way that this game ends, where Hatch gives him the choice to either join them or not, and we don't get to make that decision. The game just ends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that either.
Well, you see, Alan scratched out this draft and decided to write time.
I was going to say exactly that. I'm
instead.
sitting here like, once we get really baked, once Joe is really lit, we can talk about whether or not Alan is just how convoluted is his writing gotten to get out of the dark place yet.
Okay, so Alan, did you beat the DLC?
Mm-hmm.
I have not.
I know. No. We're not talking about it now. This is
Okay.
after everyone who leaves wants to leave. I will tell you I will tell both of you something that pissed Phoebe off. So I'm excited to tell y'all.
Woo!
So at the end of the game, I had a different read, or I guess a read. I don't know. Anyway, so Hatch gives him that choice, and then Jack sees how Paul was seeing the two choices, and then the credits just started. Did anyone else notice that, or was I just
I think that's the ending. He gets the choices and the game ends.
You think that means he's developing Chronon disease?
Yeah, he's developing the disease Paul had.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's played through time.
Yeah, he definitely was, because Hatch even says to him, "You're going to have needs that only Monarch can fulfill," which is what Paul was going through with the treatments for the Chronon.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah,
that dialogue. I just saw that and I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, this is a Remedy game. You got to pay attention to everything that everybody says.
And I think that makes sense, though. I mean, if you were a being who is transporting through time, you're not going to be okay because your body's not made for that. There's multiple of yous. Like, things aren't going to be okay. So I like that idea.
Yeah. And that's how you turn into a shifter. Like, that's what's happening to your entire self. Like, experiencing every moment of your life. That's how he can see. That's how, like, Paul can see into the future and see what's going to happen, is because he's experiencing it now. And that's what Hatch can do. But he's better at it because he's a shifter that somehow kept, like, control of himself.
Control, you say?
Control, I do say.
So Quantum Break is a game about time travel.
Speaking of time travel, I have a very fucked up theory. Do y'all want to hear it?
Sure.
Let on.
So in the game, we talked about this in Alan Wake 2, which I think is funny, and playing this made me think of something really fucked up. So in this game, you see a teaser for Alan Wake 2. Obviously, that is not the saga we eventually get in Alan Wake 2, which is completely different. Is it fucked up to think that Hatch saw the teaser for Alan Wake 2 and went, I need to figure out how to get my way into this, and went, you know what, I'll just make myself Saga's father, that'll make more sense, and that's why there's a character difference?
No, because that makes perfect sense. Like,
yeah,
I pointed this out in the group chat. All they had to do between Martin Hatch and Warland Door is flip an M upside down and take the horizontal line out of the T.
Which works.
Yeah, and also a hatch is like a door.
Oh.
And they didn't own the rights to Martin Hatch, so they couldn't say it. So,
well, the other reference is that Lance Reddick passed, so they wanted the character to be different. So that was the best. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got Martian Manhunter instead,
who does a great job.
Does a great job.
Yeah. You know, when you have to follow up Lance Reddick, like, that's a tough ask.
And I know we're talking about Alan Wake 2, but the best part is that he is his own character for the majority of that game, but when he gets super pissy with Alan right in Chapter 7, it's like he just does a perfect Lance Reddick impersonation.
Yeah, he's really good in that. Man,
it's too bad for a lot of reasons that we lost Lance Reddick, because I would have liked to have seen him in that part.
Oh,
honestly,
yeah.
It's going to be real tough without James either. Like, I don't even...
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Wait, what?
James, what are you talking
James
about?
Max Payne's voice actor died.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, the whole thing's going to be tough, but also...
If we lose Adi, I riot.
Remedy did create this universe where if something changes, it's explainable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
They get Marky Mark to play him now.
No, stop it.
He's too busy making bad movies.
He's too busy doing hate crimes.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's too busy
selling Mark or Wahlburgers. Yeah.
Wait, what did he do? Bad.
He beat up
a Vietnamese guy for racist reasons.
What?
Like, he beat him up until, like, he was blind.
What?
Yeah, he blinded a guy because he was Vietnamese.
I've also heard
it's something like that.
I think you're right. I also heard he uses the N-word profusely, like unironically hard R.
Yeah,
but it's okay because he has a cool workout video from the 90s. Sarcasm.
Yeah, fuck Mark Wahlberg.
Wow. All right. Did not know any of that.
That's kind of why he hasn't been in a lot of stuff recently, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
That would make sense. I don't get people. But then again, I'm not surprised.
We have Keanu Reeves. We're good. We're stacked. We're good.
Oh, yeah. We are going to start wrapping this up because we're at an hour and a half. A little over that. But I do want to talk about, like, I do like the idea as you progress through this game, you fight guys that also have, like, the quantum packs on them so they can do some of the time things that you do and not affected by some of your time stuff. I mean, I think that's a cool change to have, like, because you have things where you're in a stutter, yet there's enemies that are moving in the stutter because they have gear on. I do.
God, it's so funny to see, like, how they take their ideas from their games and are like, let's put it in other games, and it just works. Like, what are they called in Control? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They're basically the same packs from Quantum Break, the RFC devices or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
The HR... Oh, fuck.
HRT?
No.
It's been a while, and I'm not going to look it up. So.
Yes, Mike said HRT.
What is HRT? Did I say something wrong?
Hormone replacement therapy.
Yeah,
that's something completely
else,
different.
Mike.
Yeah, that wasn't what I was trying to reference. I don't remember what it was called.
HRAs.
HRAs, there we go.
Okay. You were close.
I had 2 out of 3. Hey, Meatloaf said 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
What is it, like the Hiss resonance armor or some crap like that?
Yeah.
A Hiss resonance amplit? No, can't be that. Something, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
So now I know why HRT was in my brain, at least. So it's like,
I'm sure A is after that.
I wonder
I just
why,
don't know
Mike.
what the R is.
we'll leave it as that. But all right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's funny.
They definitely like the pacing of this game is really good. Like the way that the fights ramp up in difficulty, there's no spike. It's a very steady curve, and the platforming stuff does the same thing. Like, you start out in like the junkyard, and you just have to like raise up a couple of bridges, and then it goes to, I don't remember exactly all of the platforming sections, but then it's like the bridge and then the boat and then the train thing in the building. So yeah, everything amps up at like very reasonable times. Time, I say.
time.
Those time enemies that had the same powers, that's what I wanted. I wanted to fight Paul with him and I just doing time powers and like punching each other in the face,
But
like a
instead,
Metal
you
Gear
get to-
Solid 4 ending.
You get to play run away from the red light.
Yeah, and right into a light machine gun armored man.
I
Red
fucking
light.
hated it because I read something that said hide behind the pillars. I did that. Doesn't work, by the way.
It totally does. Hiding behind the pillars absolutely works. That's how I got
the red
through it.
light.
Yeah.
Killed me.
Nope. Then you weren't doing it right, because hiding behind the pillars absolutely does work.
Oh, well, whatever. I just played run. Run work.
Red light.
Run works too, but the pillars do block it. You just have to be standing at the right place.
Oh, I was not.
Red light, you say, almost like the red light from Control and
Goddamn
Alan
it.
Wake.
So eventually, he goes through time. He ends up he finds his brother didn't die, and they save time. I guess I don't know.
I'm not the only one who figured that out, right? That his brother was alive the whole time because you didn't see
I didn't put two and two together until the game told me.
Yeah, no. that was pretty. Yeah.
So
They're like, oh yeah. They're like, what? When in the beginning of the game, everybody's like, oh no, there's something going on. We have to stop this. And it was like, oh, that's going to be me later in the game. That's one of those things that's like pretty hacky, but also Remedy pulled it off by not being too hacky.
I think the only thing that's a complaint about this game for the most part is kind of its overall length, because watching the shows, the episodes themselves are legitimately like half an hour more,
30 to 40 minutes for some.
Yeah,
depending on
they're too long.
Yeah.
disagree,
and it's like
but
the file size of having to down if you want like a full fat experience of the game. Like, you cannot, put it this way, once we get to shelf and stack and box, it's going to be like, listen, dude, I can't pull it out of the box because I know that I have to spend an hour installing it, so it has to stay on the shelf and installed on my console.
It didn't take me that long to install it on PC.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah,
Like, it wasn't bad.
It was on an HDD, kind of like.
See, here's the thing: is with YouTube Premium, only $15.99. You can just download the episodes to your phone or tablet, and then
1080p
once you
premium bitrate.
finish at 1080p 60 FPS, and once you finish an act on your Steam Deck, you skip immediately the FMV cutscene, and you go to your phone or tablet, and you go, I'll just watch it right now.
How do you know which one is the one with the right choice? Does it tell you pretty easily?
I actually found like one long video that had timestamps for which choice.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so like whichever choice I made, I just clicked on that and it took me to the timestamp. So yeah,
See,
it was really
I knew Steam Deck wouldn't be happy running this because my dumbass bought the cheap Steam Deck when I did, and the hard drive space wouldn't be enough to probably install this game.
It's enough to have it installed.
I have
Because
to
it doesn't download. It doesn't download the episodes. It streams it. But yeah, my Steam Deck was like very hot and it
I had
buffered
64 gig.
so often.
Whatever the small one was. Like, I regret that decision a lot. But, I mean, it works. Hey, it plays Vampire Survivors perfectly, so hey.
Hell
that's all
yeah.
you need for Steam Deck.
Hell yeah!
Meanwhile, the HoloCure player over here.
But I played this on my gaming laptop, because it also gave me an excuse to finally take my new laptop and hook it up. So this is actually the first episode being recorded on the new laptop. Can't say they all will be, but this one is today.
I can't wait for the first one recorded on Discord so I can uninstall Skype from my computer.
It's
I've been doing
coming.
this in my browser.
I got I got it to work. I tested it with Phoebe. Discord will happen. I just didn't feel like doing it tonight, but it'll happen.
You have to have like a send-off Skype episode.
Look forward to better audio quality pretty soon on Games My Mom Found.
Oh, we're not doing
on
multi-tracks.
Discord.
I'm still doing single track. I don't have the time to edit multi-tracks, I don't think, with the amount of content I create. So it's still going to be single tracks. Just going to be done on Discord instead of Skype.
It still sounds better.
Yeah, it's probably about time to upgrade. It's been 6 years.
But yeah, I just, look, I don't think we talked about Beth enough.
I do like that she's the one making all those paintings around the whole game that predict the future.
Me too. Her character is fantastic. She's such a good actor. Like, you were talking, I think it was Nate earlier, about how you would have liked more of Beth's story. And I also would have liked that, but also, like, how good of an actor she is when, she talks about it. Like, I felt terrible for her. Like, you can feel that pain, when she's talking about it. And I was like, this is fucking good. Also, I don't want to be one of these guys, but good Lord, her behind is immaculate.
All right, Snake.
Hey, did anyone else notice that Beth Wilder kind of looks like Courtney Hope?
Crazy. I hope they put her in another game.
As I was flipping through her IMDb pictures, and I found that wonderful picture that I put into the group chat that Mike should make the thumbnail for this episode.
Mike will not, but yeah. Just because the thumbnails are always the cover of whatever we're talking about. So
I will in my heart.
If you'll notice, Colby was quiet for quite some time.
I was looking at pictures of Courtney Hope. I will not. But yeah, then I scrolled through pictures, and like, I don't know what face blindness Mike has, but she looks exactly the same in this game as she does in Control and like in her real life. So it was, yeah. I don't know what the deal is.
I have really good facial recognition skills in general. Like, example, I was at Applebee's yesterday, and I saw someone that was my manager at Sam's Club when I worked at over 10 years ago, and I recognized her in a second. Like,
Mike, I know what you're saying, because I have facial blindness to Paul Giamatti, to where, like, my wife and I will be watching a show, and I'll be like, is that Paul Giamatti? She's like, not even close.
I want everyone to know I'm so high, but y'all forgot that I was the one that saw face blindness, so good job, everyone.
I remember.
No, I didn't. I just didn't say nothing.
I just thought it was weird that, like, he couldn't figure out that this was her, because, like, I recognized her immediately. But I've also I've stared at Control for probably at this point 200 hours. I've played through it like 5 times now. I love that game.
I should.
Best.
It's a really good game.
But yeah, that I just.
Oh, you're the reason I played this game too.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that, like, yeah, because Beth, I think, was the best character in this game. I don't know that the relationship between her and Sean Ashton was deserved. Like, it didn't feel like he did anything to really win her over.
Is it bad that, Mike, I blame you for that, the game does that, and all I could think of is fucking Bill Tucker going, is this deserved? So you know what? Yeah, I completely agree with you, Colby, at least for the most part.
See, another thing of GMF that has stuck with you.
Yeah.
Another one of our little dumb things we do in the show.
There was also a very good line. Again, we all saved Amy, right?
Yeah.
When they're driving in the car, and Beth says something about, oh, I feel like a babysitter, and Amy's like, hey, I got good intel off of that computer for you, bitch. I was like, whoa, because like 5 seconds before that, Beth like pistol whips Jack, and I'm like, wow, Amy's got some balls. Like, there's good character development in this game. I was thrilled with the character development.
I liked it too.
They've been good at making a lot of their characters, like, kind of down to earth and human. You see it in Control with, like, kind of the way Jesse talks about Ati and stuff, and I'm like, that's pretty relatable.
Yeah.
A little out there, but we meet people like that. And,
yeah.
And that one guy in Control, where Jesse brings up fridge duty and he stares at her for like 5 seconds and he's like, "Oh my god, I forgot about that."
That guy rules.
Yeah,
I love that guy in control. He's like in charge of all of these like crazy,
Artifacts.
Just the oldest house in general is like so crazy, and this dude's just like, yeah, I'm just trying to get out of here at 5 so I can go home and feed my cats. Like it's a normal job.
Yeah.
That guy
He's trying to hit on the boss as if she's just like a coworker.
Yeah. So good. Home over.
I made decisions like for each junction point. I made decisions like I was like, okay, how would an actual company respond to this? Like, they're not going to shoot the protester. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, let's use this protester.
No.
Yeah, they would just be like, let's use this protester and, like, have her read this thing. And then, like, I think it's episode 3 where Jack and Liam are in prison. And, like, I chose, Paul Serene isn't going to go, like, talk to Jack. He's going to go, like, handle his shit. And I was like, I just wanted to see Lance Reddick like fuck up Jack Joyce. And that didn't happen, but I still liked how he was like, basically telling Jack like, Paul's a problem, like we need to take care of him, and if that means letting you free to do it, like I'll allow it. Of course I didn't know that he was like a shifter at that point, but
So I was kind of half paying attention and also really confused and also probably stoned.
Yep, that sounds accurate.
Did the last choice for Paul, did it get interrupted and they were like, "Hey, are you okay?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine." Did that happen, or am I just imagining that's what happened?
No,
I wasn't paying attention.
So he can like take a whiff of that Cronod thing, or like if you choose not to, he like force pushes the guy into a wall and is like and like quotes the room and he's like, "Everybody betraying me,"
Okay, I thought that was a magic deck. I was like, did I miss something? Because I wasn't playing at that point. I was like, I'm not gonna have time to beat this, and also things were happening in the real world where I did not want to be conscious. So
I completely understand.
Yeah,
I beat this game before all that happened. I beat this game on Monday. I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, I did not beat this game by Monday, so a lot of me was like, I'm really going to beat this game. I'll at least watch the cutscenes, but I really don't want to be sober because Twitter is awful, so I'm just going to go home and just drink.
Wait, don't.
I have
anybody who looks
solution for you is Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. That's all I've been playing lately. And I'm like, it's just
starting that again. It's going to be fun.
good vibes. And I'm
well,
like,
what you do is you don't look at Twitter. Like, even I, who still have Twitter installed and use it just for this podcast, I post my thing. I never look at a single nothing. Twitter is a cesspool. Anybody who's sitting there going on Twitter all the time, if you're not if you're not worshiping Elon Musk and have a Tesla truck, you're being an idiot. If you're on there sitting there fighting, I know.
Yeah, I got rid of my X the Everything app a long time ago. Once I started getting Candace Owen posts that I never asked for, I was like, bye.
Yeah, no, Twitter's awful. Like, I get posts.
Games my mom found on Blue Sky.
I am on Blue Sky. Well, I'm also on Twitter, unfortunately, but it's only because there's a couple people that still I talk to through that, unfortunately. But no, Twitter is just, I don't get why people still it's a terrible place.
Mikey, take a timestamp because what I'm going to say you could totally cut from the podcast because it's
only a timestamp. I have listened to the entire episode.
Yeah. I'm thinking about getting rid of Twitter, especially because the current movement on there is your body, my choice now, and everyone's like basically arguing, and I'm like, I don't want to be on here.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The response to that is basically just been like buying a gun.
I'm going to shoot you.
Yes, exactly. Yep. That's like, I have told people more than once, like, if somebody says to you, your body, my choice, you can end their lives. That's a perfect, because that is a threat. Like, that is a threat to you.
Listen, that's not murder because that's not a human being.
No, exactly. Yeah. And it's self-defense against a animal.
I literally saw that the other day. I looked at my husband. I went, "What do you think, babe?" And he goes, "Oh, I already deleted Twitter and my Facebook." So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Facebook doesn't seem too bad for me where I go.
Facebook. There's family on there and other people.
Yeah, I
have no issue with Facebook. I've only had an issue with one group on Facebook, and we don't need to go there any further than that. But like, yeah, I don't run into problems.
Yeah, I trimmed my Facebook away from all of those people a long time ago. Facebook is for me.
My Facebook it's gonna be weird, but Wednesday morning it got cleaned up a little bit even more. So I just post that I didn't like, unfriended, and it was actually funny. There was someone else that like I was friends with, and we weren't friends. I didn't unfriend him. Like, oh, I see why. I know why you unfriended me. Fuck you. Like, that's what went through my head. Like, so yeah, I get it.
Okay, 2 hours to 2 hours and 5 minutes just cut out.
I'm not cutting it out. You've listened to this show. I keep most things unless there's only certain words I won't allow. Very few. Well, certain really the racist things that I won't put in here. There's certain other words I won't use or certain context. But no, for the most part, I don't edit out things. I mean, this is partly a time capsule, and that's what this show is in its own sense. Like, it's our feeling at the time. I mean, as long as we stay on topic for the most part, which we do sometimes.
Then you can just delete this whole episode. All right, we're starting again.
What a Break is a game about time travel.
I mean, to be fair, I did laugh at the fact that the game starts in 2016 when he was pretty much starting the end of time, and I'm like, playing this in 2024 on November 5th?
4th.
I can play November 4th, but when I was thinking about it, like November 6th, I'm like, you know what? Man, do I got some bad timing sometimes when I play games, because this feels really relevant. It's like, things fucked up in 2016. I'm like, don't say.
Yeah. Well, the end of time was supposed to be 2021. In the game.
Say the part about
in game, he said 2021 was when time ends.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's working more on 2025.
But I do like the part about Beth trying to stop 9/11 and it not working out.
Yeah.
That was an interesting little factoid.
Yeah.
Yes, that was.
When she's
that
like,
reminded me of 11/22/63, and I was like, oh,
yeah. When she's like, look, I tried to stop this and this and this, and it always happens. And Paul did the same thing. He's like, the first thing I go back to is that guy on the ledge that we saw commit suicide. He's like, I try to stop him every time and it never works. And I'm like, that's interesting. That's an interesting way to tell that stuff is set in time. Like, you can't change that stuff because
I believe that's real. If there is anything time travel ever was discovered, which I don't think it could be.
No.
Because I feel like there has to be events in this world that are just meant to happen. Can't invent. I think that's real. I think that would be a real thing.
The fact that it happens, I think, tells you that if it could not happen, or if somebody could invent time travel, it would happen anyway because it just happens.
Yeah. I mean, if I could do time travel, all I really want to do is go back and buy some old comic book.
Here's the thing, you are time traveling, you're just going at 1 second per second.
Yeah, but I want to go back in time and buy comic books.
That is a pretty good one.
How this works.
I know, that's the problem. I was looking at comic books today, and I saw an issue that I have on my wall for $100, and I'm like, man, I should have bought
Dude, I would have bought and kept every Pokemon game I've ever had sealed in box.
Yeah.
All right, so Quantum Break.
Let's go to should we go to questions? Or you guys still have some other things to say?
Oh, please.
Okay.
Questions, yeah.
From the official Laser Time community, from Ross Dobson. I really love the ambition of this game. It was great how they merged the live action stuff and really shows where Remedy was heading. The time powers were well used up until the last boss that was a bit of a disappointment. Not wrong. From Gibson Rickenbacker, I loved it. Plus another great genre role for the awesome late Lance Reddick. Rest in peace. And from Rhett Leach, I played it on the Xbox One VCR model. It's a technical marvel. The 720p target allowed them to push this pre-calculated level geometry transformations. The big issue with the complete waste of live action cutscene. The game is very well directed, but the live action, the cheapest of cheapest cable TV sci-fi. The other disappointment is the constant setup of a big bad outside the time bubble that you never actually interact with. Likely cut content. I don't understand that comment. So
I like the live action show. It felt like
I do too.
ABC 7 p.m.
It felt fine.
And I've watched worse from Troma. It's fine. Can't be good.
How dare
Worse than TV. That was fine. I'm not sure what he's talking about with the big bad that you don't see. I'm not sure what he's talking about that.
Oh, that's because he had his eyes closed. He should have opened them.
I think he's talking about Lance Reddick, that you never find him.
The thing that Lance Reddick is talking to.
Oh, didn't even.
You think it's that thing from Control?
It is
It's
distinct
not
from
the
Control.
hits or the board.
Oh.
Oh, all right. From Alex Crowley. Tried playing the game twice, but those episodes just slowed down the game, and I lost interest. Got the soundtrack though, and he has a picture of the vinyl. So.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay.
If you're listening to this person who wrote that comment, just skip it. Just skip you can still understand what's going on. It's
The
not
only
that big
thing
of a
you
deal.
miss is the fact that you shoot Liam in the face at one point.
Yes,
That's
yeah. You miss very little, and the game's still enjoyable without those episodes.
But you'd miss the cat and the bear flirting.
You do miss the cat, the cat dream.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Emily says to Burke, I think it might be her first line. Like, he comes home.
I must not have been listening. I remember he came home, and I remember him being like, "You're pregnant."
He comes home from work and he like lays his head on her stomach,
Yeah.
and that's the first thing she says to him. She's like, "I dreamed you were a cat, but you had big bear claws or something like that." And I was like, "This is really fucking weird."
Oh no, I'm picturing Rose drawing him with like cat ears. Just like she
God
damn it.
From Joseph's story, this game was dope. I enjoyed the hell out of it, both the gameplay and the live action stuff as well. From Chris Litchoist, it's great. Loved it then and loved my replay last year. It feels like what AAA gaming would have been like if we stayed with a 360 era linear narrative model versus open world everything. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Sure.
Remedy
I
still makes
love
those games,
this
man.
type of game.
Play Remedy's games. That's what they do. You should be playing Remedy's games anyway.
Buy Alan Wake 2. It needs to break even.
From Brandon, don't worry, I'll
Buy
play
it at
Max Payne
full
3
price,
soon, right,
unlike
Colby? How's
Mike
that sound?
Albertin. Oh, I think you're
Don't mind
breaking
me,
up.
people.
I don't know if it's just me.
And from Brandon Smith, a good example of how story gets in the way of fun. My gauge for a good game is, do I want to replay this more than once? If there's too much forced slowdown for story moments, it can kill the fun, even if the gameplay is good, and it was. I get where you're coming from, but sometimes some games only need to be played once, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I get it. But also, like, I pay $10 for a game. I'm like, I beat it. I got 300 others to play. Like, I don't want to replay. So, but I understand where you're coming from.
And if you want less story stuff and better action than even in this, just play Control.
And from Mike Miley, I'm pretty sure VGA convinced me to pick this up on a Steam sale. Right. And VGA is a video game apocalypse podcast that I used to listen to from that group. I watched the entire Opala Super replay. I got one from Matt Pickleton. Quantum Break was basically the test run for Control. I personally thought it was pretty great, and I love the live action stuff spliced in there, but it's just a third-person cover shooter with power. They took that blueprint and refined it to perfection with Control.
Yeah, it's a very nice spiritual precursor.
Mm-hmm. And last comment I have to read from that sounds like wholesome gaming, but okay, it's the name of the group. Never posted it before, but I need to find more groups. From Vigo Mora, masterpiece of a game. I think that series they produced specifically to promote the game was a bit much, though. I love time travel / time power stuff. Hope they make a sequel within the Remedyverse.
They will.
Alan will do it. Don't worry.
All right, and then we should before we go to shelf, we're going to give away a code. Let's see, the next code I have to give away. All right, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. This is your Steam code. It is 63HX49VQQCAQRT6H. That is your Steam code for Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen.
Great game.
I should probably play it someday. Huh.
Great idea for a game. The execution made me drop off of that thing.
All right, and then we'll go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Nate, why don't you lead us in?
So Quantum Break is a game about time travel. I would put this on the stack. I super enjoyed this game. I think it is Remedy's best feeling gameplay wise. Everything from moving to shooting to like dodging to the time powers felt very intuitive and snappy, and combat never got like dull or like to where I'm like, okay, I'm kind of done. Each encounter lasted as long as I wanted it to, I guess. So yeah, this is going to go on the stack. I really hope that we get to see a sequel of some sort.
I hope so too. All right, and Phoebe.
Man, it would have been really nice to play this game again. And
could have got it on
I'm just
Steam.
gonna have to buy the Steam version because this game rules. It's super fun. It's a very nice precursor to what Remedy will do afterwards. And at the end of the day, if you just want some fun, dumb time travel schlock, this is perfect. I'm putting this on the stack.
All right. And Joe.
I had what I have. The game was fun. I do see there's a couple other powers you get later on that are pretty cool. I always think that the dash ability is always really cool in any game. But with most of these games, except with maybe Control and Alan Wake 2, this game doesn't need more than one playthrough, honestly. So I'd still leave it in the stack.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm going to put this on the shelf. I had a great time. I couldn't put this game down. It was just my kind of game. I mean, I probably won't play it again, but that's not against the game. That's just me. But I had a great time. I really enjoyed the experience of it, and that's what I like. That it's such a cool experience. So it's going on the shelf, and I'm really glad, thanks to Colby, I finally played it. And Alan.
Yeah, okay. I'll put it on the stack. Remedy games are always, to me, a great time. I haven't actually played one that I didn't really like. This one, with its story being set up in episodic format the way it is, though, it does make it kind of hard to play through multiple times, because if you're the type of person to want to do a full playthrough and want to watch the episodes, it's going to really bring that runtime up by a lot. That being said, though, the gameplay more than makes up for it. I love it, so it's going right on the stack.
All right, and last but not least, Colby, what about you?
Along with you, I'm putting this on the shelf. I like a collection of games on the shelf, so it's going up there with Control. I think I fell asleep for the Alan Wake 2 episode, but it's going up there with that. I watched the TV episodes both times that I played this now, and I think I am going to play this game probably more than once more, but without watching the episodes, because I don't think they're crucial to the enjoyment, and I already got what I needed out of the episodes. And I played through Control, like I said, 5 times. I played through Alan Wake 2 twice now, and I'm definitely going to play through this one again, and I'm going to do it without the TV episodes, because who cares? It's fun, and you can definitely see where they got a lot of ideas for Control. I think if they would have had a more interesting and handsome main character, I probably would have enjoyed it more. If Beth would have been the main character, I would have enjoyed that more. But I think everybody played their parts perfectly, and I think this is a game that a lot more people should play than did play. But I also feel that about Remedy's other games too. But yeah, shelf.
I feel like this is their most accessible game. Like, the concept is simple to understand. I don't know. Maybe Control is I
think Control is, because the story in this is so convoluted. Which
it's easier to understand than Control story, where I feel like Control really starts the whole metaverse of it, and this is just it's a fun time sci-fi story.
Yeah, but at the heart of Control, it's a woman trying to find her brother. That's the story of Control. And, she gets into wacky shit during it, and there's a lot of stuff there, but most of it is not crucial. You can go through Control and just go, lady needs to find her brother, finds him in a weird building, weird stuff happens. It's not that terribly complicated. It can be complicated if you want it to be, which I do.
And weird.
But yeah, I think this is fantastic. And yeah, Alan Wake, again, combat very boring. American Nightmare a little bit better, but story over gameplay in the Alan Wake, not the second one, and then this and Control are more gameplay over story, I think. So if you're looking for, something to just play and have fun with, I think this might be the one to just play and have fun with. I think you're right about that, Nate.
Colby, you touched on something though about him not being a really good looking protagonist, and I kept thinking is this the only game where I've ever played as somebody who wears cuff jeans? What is that design choice, man?
Canonically he's bisexual. That's what the cuff jeans do. It shows that he's bisexual. As a man currently wearing cuff jeans, that's what it means.
Okay.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
I wear cuff jeans
too.
All right, we should go to plugs. But, I should not talk about next week. God, I'm tired too. It's weird. It's like late where we are. So next week you can hear us talk about, for hopefully not 4 hours, Kingdom Hearts 3. Finally.
You fool.
5 hours right now.
I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so excited.
I feel like I'm going to take a nap during that recording at some point. But yeah, I am excited to do that. I would say to wrap up the series, but I already know of at least 4 other things to record about after that one for Kingdom Hearts. So,
Can I ask, what are your predictions for Kingdom Hearts 3? And
no idea. I don't have any predictions. I don't even know what the fuck. I mean, I played the game for 5 hours so far. 4 of that was today. I really don't know what the fuck's going to happen.
That impression is going to be of me listening to that episode about Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, I wouldn't even. I mean, you can gladly hit the button and play it just so I get the download. You don't have to even listen to much. I still get the credit.
Yeah.
But no. I mean, Kingdom Hearts. As I played the first 5 hours, I'm like, my God, if you just went from 2 to this, you won't understand half the shit they're saying. They're like, oh, in the digital world, I'm like, oh, I get that from Recoded, and oh, look, there's Xeon from 358 by 2 days. I get that. Oh, Aqua from Birth by Sleep, and they're like, oh, the Keyblade. I get that too from the mobile game we watched a video for. I'm like, oh my God, if you just went from 2 to 3, you're like, what the fuck?
I'm so proud of myself right now.
Here's the prediction: darkness.
You know the answer.
The door to darkness.
I will know I achieved doing what I had to do when Mike tells me he actually cries at the end of this fucking game.
I don't see that happening.
All right, before everybody turns this off from listening to stuff about Kingdom Hearts, you can find...
Please, go ahead.
You can find Jack Billings Presents on any place you get podcasts. The new season just started. You don't need to listen to the previous seasons to understand what's going on in King of the Big House, but you should, because it's a fun show. Listen to me and my neighbor Michael and Haunted Apartment Complex. They're all on the same feed. Just look up Jack Billings Presents. You can also hear myself and my co-host B talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in the show This Bizarre Adventure. We're a couple of weeks behind because of sicknesses and stuff, but we're going to record the new episode next week. And B got a hold of me and said, I'm going to need to yell into a microphone. So stay tuned for that one because it's going to be crazy.
I'm excited.
And we're talking about part 2 of Baby Stand.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And Phoebe, where can people find you at?
Hi, I'm the Let's Play Princess. You can find me on that awful site that still exists called Twitter, along with YouTube and Twitch. And you can also find TB and I, the teacher bloke, talking about random nerd stuff over on Nerds a Broadcast.
Nerds a Broadcast is a delightful podcast.
I like it too. I was listening to it earlier.
And
if
I ever get to be on it, I'm going to Phoebe, do not make me your like stand-in, because I will lose. All of your quizzes are too hard.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be fun because
you're much more detail oriented than I am.
I think I know exactly what quiz to write for you.
Sad.
And Nate, where can we find you at?
Hello, you can find me on TikTok at NateDoesComedy79, and if you're, God forbid, in Ohio, you can catch me at some stand-up shows.
Good, you're still doing that?
No.
At least he's honest.
Are there recordings?
I need to get back into it. It's just there's been a big thing happened this week. It makes it hard to write.
I get that. I completely get it. So, yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, there's over 700 other episodes of this podcast. Everything we have done is on Podbean, or I think almost everywhere. If you want to hear the rest of our Remedyverse stuff, you will see a link in the show notes to everything that we do for Remedyverse, so definitely go check that out. If you want to talk with us, please join the Discord. That's how you can be on the show. I asked for openings on there. You can suggest things in the Discord that I will get to. Next year is going to be a big push to get shit done from that people suggested. Phoebe. So there will be a ton of stuff you will hear us talk about on there. You can also, if you want to support the show, do a Patreon, a little dog, you vote in our Patreon poll. We have 1 to 2 polls a month. Right now, 1 because I am behind, but it will be 2 again soon once I get caught up on everything I promised I would do. So go check all that out. I want to give it a shout out to my awesome intro and outro crazy Helena at Hell Has Fury. Follow her on TikTok and Instagram. Definitely go check her out. Also, give a shout out to Bill Tucker at A Gamer Looks at 40. Definitely go check out his podcast too. He's currently still talking Final Fantasy. Someday he'll be done. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube, audio only. Rate and reviews wherever you get your podcasting. That's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.